Well, welcome back everyone to Kitchen Table TCG. Today we're going to be talking about Monarch. We've got a little market update for you. There's some spicy stuff going on, especially with the kind of announcement or I guess leak of Tales of Araya or Area, whatever it is. And I am going to talk about some of the things I think might be happening as a result of that. Before I get there, let me just share with you my Patreon. If you want to support the channel, you get access to this collection tracker that utilizes all the data that you see in all the videos that I do. You can put in your cards and it tracks the value, and it's a great way to keep track of your collection and make sure you have all a complete set and see the value of your collection. Head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG if you want access to that. Just $5 a month. And then I also love to shout out Mitch over at Midtown Merchant. Mitch has the best prices on singles. In addition, those of you who support the channel get access to a 10% off discount code every month. That should have been emailed out to you guys today. So that being said, let's hop in to see what Monarch Unlimited hops in, and then at the end we'll talk about first edition. But we'll start with unlimited. Right now, you can. I always keep boxes at map pricing because that's the way it is. But right now, realistically, if you were to use, TCG Player, you could get boxes for $70. There's tons of them on there. If you are going to do this, use my promo code for TCG Player. That's in my description of my videos. It does help out the channel a lot. But it isn't map pricing. I don't love that stores are doing it, so I'm going to keep it like this because I believe in map pricing. So as we move forward, though, let's take a look at the Fable, the Great Library of Solana. Let me make this all bigger for you so you can see everything. Great Library of Solana, sitting at $325. On eBay you can get it for anywhere from $300 up to $320, and then on TCG Player it's a little bit more expensive in the $340 range. So it's kind of balancing out. I think on Facebook you could get around $300 as well, but kind of balancing out the three or four marketplaces. It was sitting around $325, which is down 10%, but to be expected, as people are still getting the boxes for so cheap. So looking in then as we move forward to the legendaries, not a whole lot of changing going on. I will say there's a lot more Doomsday and Eclipse being sold right now. We'll talk about that a little bit when we get to first edition too. But there's a lot more being sold at the market right now. I think people are buying them for Classic Constructed. I think those cards are going to see some play in Classic Constructed. I know my chain deck is running an Eclipse, so I think that's going to be happening. Vestige of Soul at 115 is down a little bit. Footsteps is down a little bit. Husk is super popular and is up right now. That card is really starting to compete a little bit with the Footsteps in terms of the most played card. Footsteps, it has the eye appeal. It's kind of the chase card right now, but we're sitting at an average of $113, which is really no change from last week because Carry and Husk went up. And that's kind of carrying the weight. So again, really interesting to see Doomsday and Eclipse performing so well in terms of amount sold. But all right, let's move on. Let's go on to the Majestic Rainbow Foils here. In the Majestic Rainbow Foil side, no huge changes. Let's take a look at your average. We're actually down 19%, but it's a kind of across the board. Some of these weapons that aren't utilized as much are starting to lose heavier. Radiant is available right now for $15. Luminaris is it's holding true at the price point as one of the chaser ones. Soul Shield still holding its line. That card is crazy. This is the rainbow foil pricing, obviously. We're going to talk about Phantasmaclasm when we talk about first edition, because there's a lot of interest in that card right now. Hexagore at 8. You can see some of these ones again that aren't as played. The rainbow foil versions are dropping. But again, it's kind of across the board. Shadow Puppetry is actually back up this week. That's an interesting one. It's kind of across the board, though. Things are just down. A lot of these weapons, though, that aren't seeing play are kind of hemorrhaging the most amount of money in the market right now. Nourishing Emptiness actually up, seeing some action. All in all, we're down 19%, but don't hear that as the whole market's down. Some cards are up, some cards are down, and the same is going to be true when we look into the Majestic, the non-foils. You can see the average is actually up 1%. But again, some are moving down, some are moving up. Luminaris again holding true. This one, the Raiden, the non-foil version actually, holding its price point. A lot of again, Soul Shield, it's crazy. The cards that are seeing play, the difference between rainbow foil and non-foil just isn't there. Because so many of the non-foil versions are being bought and it kind of reaches that line. All in all, though, no huge kind of shifts. We'll talk about a little bit at the end when we get into like the weekly gainers and losers, but an average of $4.11 for the non-foil majestics. All right, as we move forward to the rares and the commons, keep in mind I just used TCG low on these pricing. Your rares, your rainbow foil rares are down 8% for an average of $1.25. In your regular rares, not that it really matters, but at 22 cents is down 22%. Looking at the common rainbow foil, as anticipated, some of the weapons, the equipment slots are losing some value. Halo of Illumination lost 48%, Dreamweavers lost 31%, Gallantry Gold 53%, Hooves of the Shadow Beast 23%. They're just starting to lose some value. All in all, your rainbow foil commons are down 11% across the board. All right, let's take a look at the EV and see where we're at. In each box, you're going to get 6 majestics. You'll get basically one every 5 boxes has 2 foil majestics. 41 rares, 5 foil rares, 1 in every 3.5 basically boxes will have a legendary, because there's 6 legendaries in the set, not 5. And a 1 in 40 chance at hitting the Fable. The EV for this isn't great. It's the lowest EV of any unlimited set. The EV is at $88. If you open 40 boxes on average, you'd see about $88. But if you're only going to open 1 box, you don't want to kind of count the legendary or the Fable. You'd be sitting at $47. If you pull a majestic rainbow foil but no legendary or Fable, you'd be sitting at $64. Let's see, do I have anything else? The KCV is there. So let's take a look at where this 8812 fits in from last week. We are down 5% on the market, all in all, in all the cards. Let's see the top 10 cards to gain or lose value here before we move on to first edition. Mutated Mass #1 card to gain value. The Rainbow Foil up $1.25 to 55%. Shadow of Ursur on the Rainbow Foil is up 29%, and Shadow Puppetry is up 27%. A lot of Shadow cards moving up this week. Again, I really think the contributing factor here is people building chain classic constructed decks. That is what's causing things to move up. Again, non-foil gainers, we're seeing similar. Mutated Mass is up 125%. Shadow of Ursur is in 3rd place, up 33%. And then there's a Rogue Arc Light Sentinel up 36% in there as well. Let's take a look at the cards that lost the most value then. Blood Drop Brocade, common rainbow foil, is down 72%. Gallantry Gold, common rainbow foil, down 56%, and Dread Scythe rainbow foil down 50%. The non-foil losers, Tome of Torment, down 33%, Shadow of the Plasma Fet, down 33%, and Soul Food, down 33%. All right, let's take a look in there at first edition. I'm going to talk a little bit in my my If I Were Investing podcast today about like the difference between first edition being so close. We'll talk about that there. But there's a lot of other things to talk about here. Sealed boxes, let's start there, at $2.65 right now. Now, let me show you some things. You guys can argue with yourselves about the price. The price of these are very volatile right now. We're seeing boxes on eBay sell for $2.65, $2.70, $2.80, all the way up to $3.19 with a promo. You've got to $3.20 with nothing. But here's the thing. This week there was a few stores that kind of, I'm going to use the phrase dumped. They kind of put a lot of product on the market. I don't know if they were holding it back or if they had purchased it or what happened. But there was a lot of boxes available at $2.50 this past week. They sold out very quickly. The fact that there was some other ones that sold at $2.65, I kind of went with like the $2.65 number. It's getting interesting in terms of where's the bottom. I know people said, "I'll buy every box under $300." We crossed that bridge very quickly, and we're still, we're seeing boxes under that. So, do what you want with it. Make sure you're shopping around for your own deals. It's very volatile. The prices are swinging day to day. Looking at the Fable, the Great Library of Solana, keep in mind that on the Great Library of Solana, kind of the biggest issue is the centering. There was one that sold for $15.25, and then there was another one that sold for $15.20. Two different cards in very, I would say, similar condition. They both look pretty dang good. They are definitely like slightly off center. You can see there, and you can't really tell with the videos, but there it's a little bit off center to the top. And then on the back of this one, there is some cornering down there. I would still say this is a nice card. I would say if you had a mintier version that had a little bit better centering, maybe, the corners, this is on a white piece of paper too, so it's kind of hard to see the corners, but maybe if the corners were better, you could probably still get around $2,000. But the condition is what really, really, really matters when dealing with these high value cards. So just keep that in mind. Make sure, like, if you're selling, you're really looking at your condition. If you have one that you think is like really minty, like this one, the centering is pretty good. It's a little bit off to the right or to the left. The back of it, you see that huge corner ding. I mean, that one's a little rougher, honestly. Again, keep in mind, look at your condition. I'm just kind of sharing with you the sold listings. It's hard for me to do, like, there's another one that sold for $1,200. It's just hard for me. That's Great Britain. It's just hard for me to really extinguish what the exact price is. Just sharing you the sold listings and then saying, take that in consideration when you're looking at your condition of your cards. As we look in towards the legendaries then, Vestige of Soul holding its value, Phantasmal Footsteps starting to trickle up. This is kind of a 1 week, they had a 1 week low into the 400s. Valiant Dynamo holding its value, Carrion Husk starting to move up a little bit, kind of again, same thing, down last week, kind of back to where it was 2 weeks ago. Doomsday, this is where things are starting to get, in my mind, kind of interesting. If you take a look on Doomsday on TCG Player, you can see that somebody, or maybe it's multiple people, my guess is it's the same day, somebody bought up 3 of them. I think people are starting to move in on a lot of these. I mean, it's been a long time, no sold listings, and then all of a sudden, 3 of them move. And there's a lot of that going on in the market. I don't have time to get into every single, statement. That's why I have the podcast and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff moving right now, a lot of volume in Monarch starting to move, which tells me that we could be getting, I've been saying this for, could be getting down towards the bottom, but we're actually up this week. And if we back this up, being up is kind of significant, because we've been almost anything but up in the past. So, down 23%, down 20%, down 5%, down 20%, down 3%, down 11%, down 12%, up 7%. So interesting, change in direction, potentially. It could also just be a fluke, and next week we could be talking about how we're down 20%. So again, just showing you sold listings, TCG Player, eBay. I look at Facebook, I look at Discord, try to get a feel of the pricing too on those markets. But on average, around 305 for your legendaries, which is up 7%. All right, now things are starting to get really interesting on your commons, because a lot of things are being sold. A lot of cards are being sold. There are a lot of sold listings. Go ahead, look them up for yourself. A lot of cards moving. Halo of Illumination back up to 100. Dreamweaver staying the same. Galaxy Gold at 65. Ebb and Fold at 100. A lot of cards moving. A lot of cards starting to flatline or start to trend up. All in all, your commons are up 12% this week. Now, keep in mind, last week we had a 21% decrease. And this is still down from the 2 week ago price of 83 for your average at 74. That being said, I do think the volume of sales is increasing, and the market's starting to lose number of cards on the market. So interesting stuff. Majestics, Luminaris, selling around 400, Raiden for 165, Hexagore the Death Hydra for 160. This is stuff that's happening. This is why you really need to use my prices as a guide, or you need to look them up for yourself too. I mean, on Hexagore, there's a first edition that sold for 220 on TCG Player. 2 weeks ago, one sold for 249, but then as you approach eBay, they're selling for 160. So it's kind of this weird place where the price points, the difference in the market from one network to the other are really changing. And so make sure you're shopping around and looking for the best deals if you are buying. All in all, that puts all your averages at $142 for your rainbow foil, which is up, for your cold foil, which is up 1%. All right, Majestic Extended Arts, pretty stout. We are actually down 18% this week. I was talking to somebody didn't like these the other day. I don't know what the market, I feel like the market has relatively accepted these. Actually, they haven't, I don't know. I feel like, let's see what they were. The average here is 306 if you care. I mean, it's down the same. It's not down more than the rest of the cards. So I don't know. I feel like the market's just kind of accepted it as another thing. There's not a ton of these available, but when they do become available, they tend to move for less than a week before, but they don't tend to be on the market super long, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's go on to the Majestic Rainbow Foil. This is where I'm excited to talk about some stuff. Majestic Rainbow Foils. We're starting to see just some good growth. It's 1 week again. 1 week. Next week, everything could be backwards. This is 1 week. I think though, with the excitement about Classic Constructed happening, things are starting to pick up. People are starting to see the prices, being where the rainbow foils are from Unlimited and comparing them. I don't know. I just feel like people are starting to see like, okay, this is the time to start buying these. So all in all, we're up 10% for an average of just under $20. I want to talk about Phantasmaclasm because I think this is a result of actually a result of the Tales of Aria being that the weapon potentially, in my video today, I said that the weapon was could potentially be ice or frozen. Two videos ago, I said that it was, lightning. That's the initial look, is like it's lightning. But in my video today, I talked about kind of the lore of Aria. But somebody mentioned, and I actually had this thought as well, it could be an illusion. It could be an illusion. I didn't mention it in a video, but it could be an illusion of a bow. And there's been a lot of talk about that. Now, the thing is, could it be an illusionist ranger? I think that somebody is speculating on some of these, because look at the look at the sales. Look, there's like no first edition rainbow foils sold for a long time, and you can always see 2 days there. But then all of a sudden yesterday, somebody bought up every single first edition rainbow foil under $25 from TCG Player. They went hard. So anyway, I think that's why. I think we're starting to see some speculation about cards. I think now with Tales of Aria. Whatever one it is. Anyway, yeah. So that was interesting to me. So that card's way up as a result of that. All in all, though, we are up 10%. Let's look at the regular non-foil Majestics. Let's see where we're going. A lot of these kind of, holding the same value. It's not a huge shift here. We're down 4%. Anyway, I'm going to talk in my podcast today about the prices compared to it's Unlimited. It's kind of crazy. As you look towards the rares, remember I just used TCG low on the rares. The rainbow foil rares, we are down 6% for an average of $2.32. The non-foil rares really don't have much value at all. 15, 20, $1 average at 30 cents, which is down 4%. And then the common rainbow foils, as we finish up on first edition, the common rainbow foils, there are a lot of them, are at an average of $1.72, which is down 9%. All right, everyone, let's take a look at the EV calculation here and see where we are. Actually, we'll do top 10 first. So Phantasmaclasm, let me back that up. Phantasmaclasm is the number one card rainbow foil to gain this week, up 76%. Ebb and Fold Cold Foil Common up 66%, and Deep Rooted Evil Rainbow Foil up 50%. The non-foil gainers, Rouse the Ancients up 111%. Beacon of Victory, again, Rouse the Ancients, another one of those that Guardian definitely could be in, and that card is very good in Guardian. So Beacon of Victory up 25%, and Tear Limb for Limb up 25%. Looking at the non-foil gainers or losers, Raid in the Duskbane, Cold Foil. I'm sorry, that was the foil loser. We're on losers, my bad. This is the foil losers. We're down 26% on Raiden. We're down 22% on the Lumina Ascension Extended Art. We're down 20% on Mutated Mass Rainbow Foil. The non-foil losers were down on Raiden again, 30%. Hexagore we're down 27%, and Sonata Arconics down 25%. All right, let's take a look at the EV here. You know what's in a box. On average, your boxes will net you about $307. That's if you open 40 boxes, you're kind of hitting everything. That's your average. If you don't want to calculate the legendary or the fable, you'd be sitting at $176. If you only get a cold foil common, common, you'd be sitting at $155. But if you get yourself a majestic cold foil, you'd be sitting at an average of $398. Just keep in mind, this is like 1 in 6 in my estimates, I think. 1 in 6.7 that you would get a majestic. So let's take a look at where this price is, 307 comes into play. As we look at the EV chart on 307, we are same as last week. Yeah, we're at the same as last week. That's crazy. So on average, we have no change from last week. We're so used to going down. I got confused there. Yeah, that's crazy. So 307.30 last week, 307.76 this week. All that being said, everyone, I hope you have yourself a great day. It's interesting to see the market shifting and changing, and we'll see if that holds true to next week. If you'd love access to this collection tracker, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. Get you access to this tracker. You get to make your own, kind of put in your input. You get access to a Discord server. We're having great conversation right now, actually, on Tales of Aria, and kind of people are putting in their ideas. It's really fun to kind of see everybody else's thoughts. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you tomorrow for another video.